Our topic is the context of human. This is our group members. And the introduction, physiology, unrelated the interest of the human mind. Sociology, disfiguring the dynamic of social structure. Intersection, bridging the gap between individual and society. Application, health sensing knowledge for positive change. And the mind map, it's a convergence of physiology and socialize, and two, physiology and socialize. The physiology has the how to individual perceive, interpret, and respond to the world around them. Explore the area of emotions through motivation and behavior in depth. Interpret the dynamic of social structure. Study the social structures, institutions, and the patterns of interaction that shape human behavior and social normal. Let's move to physiology, unraveling the interaction of human mind. Beginning in physiology, we embark on a journey to unravel the complexities of the human mind. It's complicated. The field delves deep into the realms of emotion, souls, motivation, and behaviors. By explore how individual perceives, interpret, and respond to the world around them. Physiology sheds light on the interactive working of correlation and behavior. It is mysterious, from understanding personality development to unraveling the mystery of mental health. Physiology offers invaluable insight into the inner working of the human features. Physiology can feel the deep complexity of human nature. 2. The socialize. Deciphering the dynamic of social structure. It is extensive. Sociology offers a panoramic view of human existence by focusing on the broader social context in which individual life and interact. It is social. This plan dwells into the study of social structure, institutions, and the pattern of interaction that shape human behavior and social norm. From unraveling the interactive of cultural diversity to examining the dynamics of social inequality, socialize provide crucial insight into the complex tapestry of human social. The third, intersection, bridging the gap between individual and society. Difference between the two at the intersections of physiology and socialize lies a rich tapestry of understanding about the relationship between individual and society, where physiology divides into the inner working the individual mind. Socialize explains how social factor and schedule infuse individual behavior and identity. Directives, comprehensive understanding, interactive physiology and socialize to grasp both individual friends and social influence. Interdisciplinary approach utilize the theories and methods from both disciplines to analyze of human behavior. 4. Application harness knowledge for positive change. Mental health physiology informs just for enforcing. Counseling strategy and support system to improve mental well-being and through physiology discard effective. Education, physiology and socialize insight shape education strategy, curriculum design, and classroom management technology to enhance learning outcomes and promote student success. Organization management, understand human behavior and social dynamic, guide effective leadership. Practice, employ motivation, studies, and organization development interactive to foster a positive work environment and increase productivity.
Question 2. Why do we need to learn about humor from philosophy perspective? Intellectual growth and ethic, understanding, cultural appreciation, social coherence, and books and articles, online course. Why do we need to learn about humor from philosophy perspective? Integral growth and ethic, understanding, social coherence, books and articles, cultural appreciations. Here are the mind map. The first one is intellectual growth and ethic understanding. Intellectual growth, philosophy perspective challenge us to think deeply and critically about what it means to be humans. Encourage us to go beyond and strive to understanding of our existence. This perspective promote us to explore deeper questions about conscience, free minority, and the meaning of life. Engage with these ideas can significantly expand our intellectual horizons. Ethic understanding. Different philosophy traditions offer wide insight into what continues ethic behavior. They provide perspective on how humans should interact with each other and environment. This understanding can inform contemporary ethics, debate, and philosophy making. It is especially relevant in areas like human rights, environmental sustainability, and social justice. This insight helps shape more informed and compassionate police. Number 2 is cultural appreciation. Learning about humanity from the diverse philosophical viewpoints enrich our cultural appreciation and sensitive. It is allow us to see the world through various cultural lenses. enhance our understanding of human diversity. This exposure to a range of philosophical traditions fosters a deeper understanding of how different cultures approach fundamental questions. This includes inquiries into human nature's ethic, existence, and large commerce. By studying how various societies throughout history have taken these endurance questions, we gain insight into their unique cultural frameworks and values. This historical perspective helps us appreciate the complexities and the depth of cultural belief systems that have evolved over time, unlimitedly. This broader appreciation promotes a more inclusive world well. It encourages respect and emphasis for difference in flows and practice, paving the way and for more humanized intercultural relationships. This understanding is crucial in the globalized world where cultural intersections are increasingly common. Third is social cohesion. Social cohesion, understanding philosophical perspective, enhances dialogue and promotes tolerance amongst diverse cultures and societies. By delving into various philosophical traditions, individuals learn that despite cultural differences, there are universal questions and cultures that resonate across boundaries. This realization helps bridge gaps between distant social and cultural groups, facilitates a deeper understanding and respect for each other's viewpoints. Recognize these shared philosophy inquiries not only foster mutual respect but also lays on the fundamental for finding common ground. With this community, communities can collaborate more effectively, working toward building more humanized society relationships. This cooperation is essential for addressing global challenge and achieve social progress, making philosophical engagement a critical tool for society cohesion and peace. Books and articles. Books, philosophical literature spans millions featuring fundamental texts by authors such as Aristotle, Confucius, and Immanuel Kant. These works divide into questions of ethics, political metaphysics, and the nature of knowledge. Aristotle's works lays the groundwork for Western thought on the logic and science, while Confucius teachings from the backbones of East Asian culture and ethics system. Similarly, Kant's critical philosophy redefines the scopes of perceptions and reasons in understanding the world. The articles, in addition to these classic texts, contemporary philosophy analyzes advanced throughout academic journals. Its philosophy publications often explore critical and build up and thorough posted by the historical philosophers. Applying them to modern contexts, the ongoing discovery and academic journalism not only helps understand the philosophical concepts in current times, but also engage in practicing society issues, thus contributing to the evolution of philosophical thought. The online course, websites like the Korean EDX provide a wide range of the philosophy course, encompassing diverse variety perspectives. This platform makes learning accessible worldwide, allowing anyone with internet access to explore the depth of philosophical through cross cultures and areas. Completing this course and various digital learning resources, for instance, TED Talks and YouTube channels dedicated to philosophy often engage video contexts that bring complex philosophical concepts to life. Additionally, many universities also make their lecture series available online, further enrich the global educational landscapes. This resource collective enable a comprehension and multimedia approach to studying philosophy, criterion to different learning preferences and schedules.
Question 4. Human from the modern Western perspective, from God, land, nature, and cosmology. First, intersection of religion and philosophy. Second, science and the will of nature. Third, individualism and society. Fourth, technological advancement and human evolution. Intersection of religion and philosophy. In Western philosophy, exploring religion is crucial. Ancient Greek philosophers like Aristotle discussed gods, nature laws, and ethics. Enlightenment philosophers such as Kant challenged the traditional religious concepts, emphasizing reason and human self-liberation. In the 20th century, existentialists like Sartre focused on human existence, while logical positivists like Russell questioned religion's truthfulness, advocating for logical and experience. Science and the will of nature. In Western thought, the human will of science and nature has evolved significantly. Ancient Greek philosophers saw the natural world as an ordered system, understandable through reason and observation, a departure from math. Aristotle emphasized observation and reasoning in understanding natural laws. During the Renaissance, the significant method became prominent. Enlightenment scientists sought to break free from religious content and advance significant knowledge through experiment and observation. The 19th century naturalism movement focused on understanding the world through scientific methods, emphasizing nature, selection, and evolution. The 20th century significant revolution depended on our understanding but also led to our exploration, promoting the need for sustainable development and ecological conservation. Individualism and social. Individualism in Western philosophy emphasizes the moral world and independence of the individual. It defines human in terms of personal identity, autonomy, and individual rights, differing from collective perspective in other cultures. This has profoundly influenced social policy and civil rights in Western societies, prioritizing personal freedom, choice, and expression. For example, a visual of public demonstration emphasizing civil rights such as freedom of speech really shows diverse individuals holding signs. Technological advancement and human evolution. Recent developments in technology, particularly in biotechnology and artificial intelligence, are reshaping human capabilities and possibly the future trajectory of humanity itself. This discussion involves assessing the enhancement and transformation of human abilities through technologies like generic engineering, which can alter generic makeup, and AI, which can augment cognitive capacities. This is my mind map for human from the modern Western perspective.
Question 5. Human from psychological and sociological perspectives. Psychological perspective. Psychology is the science of studying human mental state and behavior. From a psychological point of view, human behavior can be explained by different psychological processes and states, including cognition, emotion, motivation, and personality formation. For example, cognitive psychological study the way humans think, how to deal with information, and how these processes affect our behavior. Cognitive development theory, such as Piaget's cognitive development stage, help us understand the thinking ability of human beings at different ages. Developmental psychological pay attention to the different stages of psychological and emotional development in a person's life. For example, Erikson's psychological development theory explores the key psychological and social challenges in the life cycle from infant to old age. Social psychological study how human beings are influenced by people around them, including group behavior, attitude formation, and response to authority. Sociological perspective. Sociology is the science of social behavior, especially how to organize and operate in different social structures, cultures, and systems. The sociological perspective focuses on how society affects the behavior and thoughts of individuals. For example, cultural sociology explore how culture shapes the values, behaviors, and communication methods of members of society. The study of cultural differences helps us understand the behavior patterns of different social groups. Structural functionalism treats society as an organism, and each part has its own function to jointly maintain social stability and order. For example, Luhmann's work emphasizes how to integrate individuals into a wider society through the process of socialization. Conflict theory emphasizes the inequality of power and resources between different groups in society. For example, Marxism emphasizes the distribution of the economic foundation in the superstructure, including social relations and culture. Symbolic interactionism focuses on how individuals create social reality through symbols, words, and behaviors in daily life. This theory emphasizes how people can form common meaning and social order through communication. Human concept, psychological perspective, cognitive psychological, study cognitive processes such as perception, memory, thinking, and problem-solving mechanisms. Developmental psychological, pay attention to the development stage and the psychological changes of human beings from infancy to old age. Social psychology, explore how individuals are influenced by social groups such as attitude formation and group behavior. Sociological perspective, cultural sociology, study how culture shapes the behavior and the communication of members of society. Structural functionalism, analyze how the various components of a society work together to maintain the stability and the function of the society as a whole. Conflict theory emphasizes the conflict of power and resources between different classes or groups in society. Symbolic interactionism, pay attention to how individuals establish social reality through symbols such as words and actions in social interaction.
Question 3. The relationship between girls and men after Alexander's death, his empire was divided into several Hellenistic kingdoms. Cultural syncretism. The Hellenistic period is marked by a blend of Greek and local cultures, leading to the development in art, science, and philosophy. This era sees the rise of new art forms and the spread of the Greek styles and practice into Hellenistic countries. The humanization of God and the definition of man during the Hellenistic period. The concept of God underwent a transformation from the transcendental of human in art and literature and deceptor more close to human with human emotions and the motivations action. At the same time, the influence of the philological has also strengthened people's views of their own divine personal pleasure, especially in topical philosophy, which emphasizes the humors with the universal reason through the reason and the self-discipline so as to the actual personal divinity relationship between the human and nature. Aristotle's view of the human science. Aristotle proposed a model of the unified century of the earth, believing that the earth is a system that gradually changes from the century to the age, divided into sub-nano world and the supranano world. Plato proposed the theories of the universe. He believed that the universe was living an organism.
Let's move forward to the sixth question, human from the Eastern perspectives. God, man, nature, and cosmology. We can see a mind map of the human from the Eastern perspectives. In Islamic, God, also Allah, is seen as the creator and sustainer of the universe. The universe and everything in it are believed to be a self-disclosure of the God. Humans are seen as a part of this cosmos, and their actions are guided by their understanding of this divine reality. For Buddhism does not focus on creator God, but on an infinite universe of worlds governed by Dharma, aiming to enlightenment to the transcend of this cycle. To Confucianism, while not focused on God, Confucianism views the universe as a self-regulating organism, advocating for the anti-harmony with its natural order. To Taoism does not personally a creator, but emphasizes living in harmony with the self, seems as the essential, underlying principle of the universe. To Hinduism, Brahman is the ultimate reality, the supreme God. The universe viewed as a vast integrated unit. Nature seems unified, interconnected, and interpenetrating, constantly raising microcosm and macrocosm. The universe is considered to be a self-generating organism process.
Briefly introduce the concept of national education philosophy. Explain its significance in shaping the education system of a country. Provide an overview of the national education philosophy you're focusing on, for example, from a specific country. Explain the core principles and values it emphasizes at the heart of any nation's educational philosophy is the importance of recognizing human nature, potential, and development. In the Malaysian context, this means focusing on developing individuals into balanced, knowledgeable, and morally upright citizens. What this means is that education is not just about imparting knowledge, but more importantly about understanding the characteristics, needs, and potential of each student. Malaysia's national education philosophy emphasizes that everyone has their own strengths and uniqueness, so education should be personalized according to individual needs. This includes not only academic aspects but also the development of emotional, moral, and social skills. By focusing on the development of the whole person, Education can produce students with critical thinking, creativity, and moral responsibility. These students are not only able to succeed in academic fields but also make positive contributions to society. Therefore, in the Malaysian education system, understanding human nature and potential is the basis of educational work, with the goal of cultivating well-rounded and virtuous citizens. In Malaysia's national education philosophy, there are several key elements that emphasize humanistic care, holistic development. Education aims at the overall development of the individual's intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and physical development, equitable access. Everyone, regardless of background or ability, should have the opportunity to receive a quality education. Solidarity and national identity. Education plays an important role in promoting a sense of belonging and solidarity in a pluralistic society. Morals and ethical values. The curriculum includes moral education to develop good character and ethical behavior, scientific and progressive thinking, encourages critical thinking, creativity and innovation to prepare individuals to cope with the changing times.